Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2017. Let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Just when you thought it was safe to come outside in the classic physique division, along comes Arash Rahbar storming in to sound the alarms. Late Sunday afternoon, the reclusive classic physique superstar released his latest round of new progress photos showing off a physique that looks like it's already on pace to blow last year's look straight out of the water. Throughout his entire prep, Rahbar has managed to keep everything pretty close to the vest. But now that the world knows he's coming, it's going to be a tough task keeping things under wraps as these last few weeks finally wind down. The way it's looking right now, the Cubs are going to have a tough time making it back to the World Series. But at least Chicago sports fans have our old friend Mikaila Soto to keep their spirits up until week 1 of the NFL finally rolls around. Recently, the Rebel released a handful of new update photos where we see the longtime veteran showing off some of the assets and attitude that have made her a fan favorite for so long. In all 3 appearances this season, we've seen a red-hot Mikaila Soto reel off 3 straight top 6 finishes. And when you're someone who's already within striking distance like she is, you can never rule out the possibility that she won't pop up again before the year's out and rip her way through another lineup. We've got quite a few athletes trying to position themselves on the men's physique chessboard to checkmate defending champion Jeremy Buendia. And right about now, Ryan Terry looks like he's got all his pieces lined up just right. Over the weekend, the reigning Arnold Classic champ was spotted knocking out a few impromptu mandatory poses and looking pretty damn dangerous in the process. Even with the surge of talent we've seen rise to the top of the division this year, Terry is still amongst the elite of the elite by anyone's standards. If he can somehow manage to beat what he brought to Columbus, things are going to get all sorts of interesting. But whether or not that'll be enough to unseat the champ is something that still remains to be seen. As someone who now officially considers themselves old school, I love to see young athletes who bring that old school attitude and work ethic with them to the gym day in and day out. So don't let the fact that classic physique star Chris Bumstead is only 23 years old fool you, because this guy is about as old school as it gets. In case you haven't been keeping an eye on what the second-year standout's been up to, over the last few weeks he really seems to have kicked things up into a gear I don't think even he knew he had. As far as I'm concerned, Chris Bumstead is one of the most promising young talents in the classic physique division right now. And I might be the least surprised person on the planet if this kid ends up settling into a top 3 finish come Olympia time. I heard on the news recently that they're planning to hire as many as 5,000 new agents to patrol the southern border over the next few years. But if I were the commander-in-chief, I think I'd probably just put a call into big Texas native Steve Kuclo, because he seems like he's more than ready to bring the heat these days. Recently, a gigantic-looking Kuclo was spotted hammering out a good old-fashioned Texas-style back session as he continues to cruise along through the latest phase of his off-season. Despite it being a pretty quiet year for the King Snake, from a competitive standpoint, he doesn't seem to be any worse for the wear right now. When he's been at his best, Steve Kuclo has proven time and again that he's one of the best bodybuilders walking the planet. And once he can finally get back to training at full tilt, I have no doubt in my mind that we'll see the old King Snake return with a vengeance.